Have you ever admired a photograph? Maybe a photographer, maybe Ansel Adams or Larry Clark? Have you been hypnotized by a photograph's beauty, had a burning desire to use this medium and be behind the camera and capture life's beauty in the mysterious and foreboding black and white, or in the simple color photo? How would you like to own a Minolta film camera and learn to develop your own prints and see them appear before your eyes? Today's guest will discuss his photography and the projects he has completed in the television production course. The Humanities Communication Arts Department at North Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, Mark Sugden, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you're about to meet are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student will write and direct 4 different productions. This will give them the chance to talk about themselves, the productions they have completed, and give you the chance to get to know them and watch their progress throughout the semester. Our guest today is an NCC student and aspiring photographer who is currently involved with his first TV film production class and has made several short films and is now working with a different medium, television. We'd like you to meet today's guest, Brennen Hickey. Hi, Brennen.
Hi, Mark.
How are you?
Good.
All right, so Brennen, we know that you're an aspiring photographer. Can you tell us why you started using that as a medium?
Well, I started when I was young. I got a camera, a Minolta camera from my parents out of sheer surprise. And I remember going into the woods and taking pictures and just really loving it because I always thought it was just like a great medium to use. And actually the Minolta camera still works. Still works till this day. And it's 7 years old now. And it's a film camera, it's not digital. And I love to shoot in black and white. I very rarely shoot in color because I think you're not really experiencing the photograph if it's in color. You know, it leaves more to the imagination if it's in black and white. And I learned how to develop film from my neighbor, who is a professional photographer, and he allowed me to use his darkroom. So I was able to actually use his darkroom. He gave me the keys to his darkroom, and I could go in there and play around, and had all the time in the world to learn how to use photography. And it was really cool. And I learned a lot about how to, take photographs and putting all the liquids you use to actually make your prints come to life, and how to dry them and put them through these dryer machines. And it was really interesting, and I love it. And I'll never do digital. I will never convert to digital when it comes to taking pictures because digital looks like crap, and I don't like it. I like film better. And yeah, so I just think it's a really interesting, fun medium to work with, and I started when I was young, and I'll continue until probably the day I die or the day my heart stops. Or either one of those, because I love photography. It's great. It's really sweet.
Can you tell us why you decided to take the television production course?
Well, photography, this is the beginnings to film. And I've always loved film, and I worked with it a lot, but I never worked with television.
Can you tell us about the 4 productions you created in this course? The Learning Project, the Action Sequence, the New England Winter Foliage Project, and the Orange Project.
Sure. The Learning Project was used to show the class pretty much how to use a camera, how to, have fun with the camera. And the Learning Project, there was really no real stress over it. We just had to go out and film something. So I went out and I filmed a over-the-shoulder shot sequence with my friend and my brother. And that's what the Learning Project was. So really kind of simple and not really that stressful. And next was the action sequence. Jessica and I went to the library to film her doing something, and that's what the project was about. Was we had to film somebody doing something, and she goes to the library, gets a book, looks through the book, finds the book, walks over and sits down, and that's pretty much it. And then we edited it on Avid and put it together, and it came out pretty good. And then next was the winter project, and the winter project was actually a hard one. That was really hard to use because we actually had to go out and use that for all the 6 guidelines to good composition, like emotional lines or lines that look like a C or an S, and and that was hard because you're out in the cold, and that was a hard one. And my next one was my orange project, and the orange project is about when somebody finds an orange and loses an orange. And my orange project is about a guy walking around an industrial park, and he finds an orange in a storm drain, and he uses it, takes it, but that's what it was. We used storyboards to help frame that as well. So.
Now there's one project that you think is your best. Could you tell us a little bit about it while we listen to the audio?
Yeah, sure. The best project I think I did so far in this class was probably the orange project, because that was the one that we had the most time on. It wasn't like a few, half an hour to film it yet. We had the whole spring break to use it, to have time on it. And we also got to write something, and we got to use the storyboards. And that was just the best one because again there was time, there was a lot of time to have. And my friend and I we shot the movie in the morning, early in the morning, and late in the afternoon. Something I learned from photography, that's when the best light is available, in the morning or in the afternoon. So we went, and that's how we did it. We went every single day all through spring break, getting out of bed, nursing, with a hangover, but still going and doing this movie. And I think it's come out good, and I think it's probably the best one. Not to mention it can be, Stoney said that we could put it in black and white, which really helped make it good. So.
Now you mentioned a variety of things you learned in this course. Can you tell us one specific thing about what you learned in this course?
Using Avid would probably be the most useful thing a skill I've really learned how to use, and because again I'm a Mac guy and I don't really use PC, and Avid's a PC program, and it's good to experience a new type of software that you're not used to. And Avid's really hard. It's really hard for me because it's not like Final Cut, so it's hard, so I have trouble with it. But I think it's probably the most like a really good, useful tool to use to go on into the workforce, since you know Avid. That's probably important. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Today we got to meet someone who shared and showed us some of the projects he's been working on. As a new TV director, he hopes to take what he has learned in this course and apply it in the workplace. I would like to thank our guest, Brennen, for joining us today. Thank you, Brennen.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
Continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you, and have a good day.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Mark Sugden, directed by Doug Sutherland. I'm your announcer, Jessica Rivera. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.